we step on that battlefield, we fight for each other. Which is why it's so hard to give up that brotherhood. The only way out is right through it. I'm not gonna apologize for what I did.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Plot Strikes Back. Nick here with my co-host Vex and Optimus Gooch here to talk about Terminal List, Dark Wolf, episode 3 from Jack Carr, starring Taylor Kitsch and Tom Hopper. And if you haven't watched the show yet, we highly recommend it. It is wonderful, definitely one of the best and refreshing things this year, period, in terms of entertainment, not just in movies, but TV shows. And if you're new here, want to help support the channel, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. I hear if you actually subscribe to the channel, this new thing that YouTube's doing, you actually gain more testosterone, and you actually start to gain strength as well. Naturally, of course, just by hitting that nice little sub button. It doesn't cost you anything, and you get free testosterone out of it. So go ahead and do that. And if you're watching this in a replay, go ahead and drop a little some chatter in the comment section. Be like, hey, Dark Wolf is amazing. Chris Pratt is amazing. Taylor, Tom, all good. So anyway, Vex, how are you doing tonight, my dear?
As you can see, my pepper is pretty stretched out. Taylor Kitsch just gets me going. So fucking just.
I was looking at your image, and of course, when we were backstage chatting, and I'm like, I'm not going to ask what that represents now. I'm going to wait until we actually go live.
Oh yeah. It's been the roast beef sandwich for a while, and we were sitting in the green room for BSEP last week, and Cynic was just like, God, like looking at a sandwich just makes me so uncomfortable because I think of your avatar. I was like, oh. So I decided to troll him this week with this.
Nice.
Hold on. I have the picture that also got me like temporarily suspended on Xbox. Hold on.
Oh.
That got you. Oh.
It's butter. It's butter.
I was just saying that's butter, right? Yeah.
Vex Electronica.
I can't believe it is butter, but Did you reply back to them and be like, it's just butter? Like when you take the lid off, that's all it is?
You can't like dispute it or anything when that happens. So I just had to wait the 2 weeks it's you play Rainbow Six Siege and people get salty and they report your profile picture. That's all that happens.
Wow. Is that what you're playing? Siege?
That every time I have been suspended off of Xbox, it's been because I beat someone's ass in a Siege match and they got really salty.
Man, some soy boys out there.
Right.
Gosh.
But I'm good. How are you? How are you both?
Yeah, doing well. Glad to be talking about this. Tickety boo.
Tickety
boo. Gooch, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I've been busy, really, really busy. Things are happening and things are hopefully rolling out very soon. So, busy. And this episode's a good one. I enjoyed this episode a lot. So,
yeah, absolutely. Before we get into it, we'll just say what's up to some peeps that have been patiently waiting in the chat. Hook says, just finished season 1. They had a very good combat coordinator on that set. The button hooks were fantastic. Chris Pratt actually learned how it's done, like Keanu did, all the actors did. Continuing, they must have lost their coordinator on season 2 from what I saw so far. There's a bit of missing cleanliness to other actors. Looks like they dialed it in a bit, but first season is easily top 5. And then he says, easily equal to True Detective season 1.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I know you're a big fan of, I think a lot of people are big fans of season 1's True Detective. Arguably one of like the best like single season TV shows out there.
Right.
Would love to cover that at some point.
That's a wild fucking statement. Oh my God. If you cover season 1, Sorry, so every time I sit down to rewatch season 1 of True Detective, I end up just watching every single episode in one sitting.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
hard to not.
It's so good, but Russ Cole would be a great character to analyze from a masculine mindset. In all honesty, he's sorry. Continue.
Bex is really digging to the idea of covering season 1 of True Detectives. Yeah. Which I'm game to do that. Absolutely. But personally, I felt my T go up 40 points. So you can too. Exactly. Just follow in Hook's line there, and you'll raise your T there. It looks like it's an ear. Yeah, season 1. True Detective is on my list too. Hell yeah. There's more than one season. Yeah, I mean, what is it's
so season
2 is pretty decent, right?
I would say it's a mess in all honesty. It's an interesting concept. Great cast, as Taylor Kitsch is in there as well for season 2. But the writing is just all over the place. Season 3 is a return to form, which I quite liked it a bit.
Wait, who was in season 3 again?
So it was Mahershala Ali and Steven Dorff.
That's right. Okay.
That was season 2 or season 3?
No, that was season 3.
2 had Rachel McAdams in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rachel McAdams.
I didn't mind 2. I like 2.
2 had some decent parts from what I remember. Honestly, it's been a while since I watched 2 and 3. I mean, 1's the one I've watched the most because it's just that damn good.
Yeah.
It's just that dang good. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we don't season 4, it doesn't exist. We pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that was like some sort of weird fan service thing that they just kind of threw out on the internet.
Fan service? What fan was that servicing? Hold on.
Well, like IGN fan service because they don't know TV. They like to rate things.
And that same dumb bitch is getting season 5 as well.
I don't know how. I couldn't finish it. We tried to watch it. We got to maybe episode 3, and just turned it off. I was like, I can't. This is not good television. This is not good writing. Acting is atrocious. The characters are atrocious. It's so weak. And then again, when you compare something like that to a show like Terminalist, Dark Wolf, even True Detective season 1, you're like, these things are not the same. And rightfully so, because you have certain people involved, but it was serving middle age.
I don't think even middle-aged lesbians watched that because neither of the 2 female leads were even remotely attractive.
I know. What's up, Larry Dinetti? Tried rewatching season 1 recently. I couldn't finish it. Interesting. There's a point where the show shifts to the current events and kind of drops the ball for me. Season 2, not terrible. Yeah, I mean, and the thing about this show, Dark Wolf, is, while it is the second show to have come out, right? This isn't technically Terminalist season 2. This is like the prequel, right? So,
I think he's talking about True Detective. Not
okay. Yeah, maybe you're right. Okay, then interesting. Okay, that's even more interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about the first half of that statement because I don't see how the show shifts to be a current events thing. If anything, it explores something that media has always tried to keep out of the media.
Yeah. Let us know, Larry. I appreciate that though. So to talk about Dark Wolf episode 3 here, again, like you said, Gooch, it's a good episode. I mean, I have really nothing to say bad about any of these episodes, because I feel like they just kind of keep getting better and better. And it's unfortunate that Gordy, Papa Pumpkin, couldn't be here tonight because he had to work some inventory shifts for work. So I am kind of curious. I believe he'll be back next week. So I kind of want to see what he had to say about this episode 3 and then episode 4, of course. But I think that's interesting about this episode is that the title is called What's Past is Prologue, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I sometimes like to think about the title and wonder if there's actually meaning behind it again, because some shows actually like to tie their TV titles or movie titles or chapter
Right.
titles into like the meaning behind what's happened, not just like chapter 1 blah blah blah, right? So I mean, the way I thought of it was how they're moving into this new role, this new stage, right? Like the past is their service, being in the teams, their battles, and their former identities. Um, you know, and it matters. Like being a SEAL matters, but what they're doing now matters in a different way. And I think that this is basically like a preface of what's coming, and you start to see that in this episode, especially because like there's risks involved now. It's not just Mo risking his life to pretend and act as if he's Denawi, but when he's meeting this professor, this nuclear physics professor, and that whole part of the ending starts to go south because there's a third party involved, and we actually lose a character in this episode, which we'll get more into in a little bit. But because of what Ben gets into, like you realize he like that's and like I believe he likes it and really enjoys it. Like this is like the true taste of this sort of lifestyle. So this is everything that he's done in his past like allows him to be good at what he's starting to do now in the future. And of course, as we know from the Terminalist season 1, I mean he's joins the agency, right?
Right. It's interesting you see from that angle, because I saw it more from just like let's be cheeky writers angle kind of deal. Because first of all,
I see that too.
Right, like there's the definitive like turning point, yes, for all of these characters. Where like now they're kind of there's the point of no return is what happens in this episode, but also there's so much groundwork being set up, not just for the rest of this series, but for Terminalist season 2 as well, because we get like Mo is a very big character in that story arc. Landry being subtly set up as a bit of a creep and a villain is also set up for a larger payoff later.
Yeah.
Even just Rafe like being a lot more. He's been cautious throughout this series so far, but episode 3 is where you really kind of see it dialed up. Whereas like Ben is so focused on all of these other parts of his life and this really heavy kind of like nonsensical guilt that he's holding on to about everything that's happened to his life, to even notice that like what's going on around him and all the red flags that are popping up. So I kind of saw like the title kind of speaks to me in that sense, but I actually do completely agree on where you're coming from as well.
Any thoughts, Gooch? But no, Vex, I agree though to that. So I kind of had that same idea as well, but I was like, is there more to it? Maybe, but
I think it's just simple. I think they all have a history, especially with Haverford, with Mo, and with I forget the black guy's name that joins the crew.
Oh, it was something really Ish. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, Ish. Yeah, it just all kind of comes to fruition at the end. But I mean, I think it's just simplified more than like. I mean, we could really go deep and really. I like both your thoughts on that. I just thought it was more of a simple thought of just, there's they have a past. All of them have a past, and they're all linked together. And especially with Haverford, and it just kind of, happens the way it happens in this episode. So
I will say, like, having watched the entire season, I was kind of disappointed by how the end of this season finishes now with Haverford dying, because it feels like this episode in particular, there was so much set up for the deeper, darker connections that he might have, aside from, what we learn later down the line. And he would have been an interesting villain to just keep alive for at least a little bit of a second season. I don't know if it's just because he had so many connections, and he seems to like he knew Mo so intimately. Like Landry had connections to him. Ish was interesting because you almost think like, oh, is that like is this like a father son thing kind of on the down low? Because like they greet each other so differently. And in the first 2 episodes, we really hear about the involvement Haverford had in some of like the most important missions under, the CIA and the US government. So I would have liked, like, that's kind of one of the few faults I find in this series, is it feels like the villain's motivations or backstory is tamed a little bit too much in order to get all of these different moving parts going in synchronicity. But like when you look at it again, it's just kind of there's missing parts that could have made this an even more compelling thriller.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thought that I had the entire time was what sort of role, Haverford was going to play throughout the entire season, because like other characters you mentioned, that are going to have future involvement, or already do have a future involvement past Darkwolf's timeline. I agree. I think because I can't think of the actor's name right now, but he's a good actor too, and he plays this role rather well. And if he would have been left alive, something escaped, something like that would have just left it ambiguous, like, oh, well, maybe he is actually alive, and maybe he'll come back in a future season, like maybe not so much in season 2, but like if he comes back in 3 or 4, and again, I haven't read those books yet, so but same thing, like I guess how would it have made sense for him to be away this entire time? And so it's sort of like, what would his motive have been to reemerge from the shadows, like, because it doesn't seem like he'd turncoat and leave the States behind, sort of thing.
No,
right? Like,
I feel like he just could have been used as like one of those he would basically be like another government asset, but the government didn't really care about him doing things like, handing nuclear stuff to Iran or anything like that. He would just, right? So like he would end up being not like used as like a kind of stereotypical petty villain, but instead something that kind of unravels, I guess, more of Ben's distrust in the government, more of James's trust in government as like the events of kind of season 2 unfold as well. It doesn't have to be a strong connection, but it's one that could be used just to like keep this all, because already it's been, again, if we go back, like we already know that this guy has connections to everyone, so it wouldn't be so far-fetched to just keep him alive just for a couple episodes here and help unravel kind of this mystery a bit more. Because even especially with book 2 of that Terminal List series, it's Jack Carr really refines his writing, but he drops like so many truth bombs that you kind of just like have to like close the book and just like reflect on your life for a moment. Like I was, because like the first book, it's just balls to the wall action. It's just kind of like laying the foundation of like, this is how a guy with SEALs training and access to SEALs inventory would go about a revenge plot kind of deal. But now that that's all gone, now there's time for like everything that was introduced in book 1 to just like sit and simmer. And it's just like literally every chapter you're reading a truth bomb, and it's oh god, so it's just like, and I can see that kind of being reflected into how they wrote Terminal List season 1 and even Darkwolf is they're learning how to refine this, and it's like it's all fictionalized, but there is a lot of truth into like what these characters are experiencing and what they're witnessing and all of these finer like these geopolitical happenstances that are going on as well.
I do think it's pretty interesting how his writing has changed, and even from going through Cry Havoc right now, I mean, I'm really enjoying that book a lot. And I'm not too far into it, but so far so good. Very good details. I mean, I definitely think he's honed his writing. I mean, this is like his 8th book so far. So I mean, by then, obviously, like some writers,
I would hope you've gotten better.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like some writers kind of start to tail off early, but this is definitely like a good. Good area of his writing, I believe. And again, like I don't know how some of the other latter books are too, but like I'm going to start reading the second book probably closer to when season 2 of the Terminalist comes out, but
I gotcha.
But I'm like, I'll read Cry Havoc for the in the time being. I wanted to highlight this question here. Larry has for us. It says, question for the panel. I've noticed in Reacher seasons 1, 2, and 3 and Terminalist Dark Wolf, it also seems to shift the writers, and I've noticed a huge drop in quality between episodes. You mean, so you're saying like the writing itself per episode shifts? I mean, that would make sense because I know in some of those shows, like especially like with Reacher, you had different people writing the episodes. So, and I covered season 3 on my channel, which definitely had some episodes that I think I favored more. But yeah, I mean, there are things that I would say for the Reacher's perspective have obviously gone off from where the book is. I think some things are accurate for Tom Clancy's books, but I think in other cases from what I've seen online, because I haven't really read a lot of Tom Clancy books personally, but I've seen other people kind of do the whole similar, I hate that they did this, or rather I hate that they didn't do something from the book, or rather, I think they did a good job. So I think that's one thing that I do enjoy though about this Terminalist series is because while they did make changes from the first book to, Terminalist season 1, I felt like some of those changes were better. Now some things I don't necessarily agree with either though. But maybe we can kind of get into those things at a later date. Whenever we just start discussing that.
Just like in terms of like I didn't like Reacher from season 1. I'm sorry, like shoot me or whatever. But I think it's just more of like these production companies and whatever just kind of have a pool of writers that they pick at, whoever's available or whoever they can toss a project. Whereas before, when cable TV was dominating, it was kind of like there was a core team of writers that were just permanently attached to a series. Like even if you look at a lot of Netflix productions, it's the same way too. There's no core team of writers. There might be a senior writer or a lead writer that sticks in for the entirety of a season or the series if they're lucky, but the writers always keep shifting, and I think that's just a matter of the process changing on the production side for Hollywood.
Yeah. So getting a little bit more into this episode now. This episode starts off with the gentleman having a nice little friendly competition of sort of like a little circuit, right? For training, staying in
some
shape,
brotherhood dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. Like let's stay true to ourselves with training every day, and while we're not doing anything or we're waiting for the mission, right? We're waiting for the call, and I mean you see they act like brothers, right? Like for some reason, Tom, being the taller guy, can't catch up to Ben. Or I said not Tom, Rafe. Can't catch up to Ben, right?
You're good.
But I always call him Taylor, Tom and Taylor, but yeah, Rafe and Ben. But where they tie here, and again, like we get that same comment.
Oh wait, go back to that photo. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Go on.
I got another one that was two slides before. It was
yes,
nice crotch shot for.
Oh, I'm looking at the forearms, not the crotch.
Oh, that too. Yeah. Yeah, the forearm muscles. Yeah.
Ladies love the forearms, man.
Yeah, but yeah, can't neglect the forearms. But yeah, I think this is a bit on the lighter side of the episode. It's friendly. It's got the brotherhood ties. Competition. They're smiling. They're kind of cracking, little jokes. It's like that same thing you used to do, or I used to do with friends. Like, first one of breakfast wins, right? Or like, last one there's a rotten egg, or whatever the saying would be, right? So, they're adults, but they're still doing things that like kids would do in a neighborhood, right? Or brothers would do running around in the house waiting for, to get back home, and mom calls, says it's time for dinner, something like that, right?
You're making this like so wholesome. Now I'm just thinking like, oh, is Haverford just like Pops and he's gonna just like fucking whoop him if they get out of line?
Well, that's what it seems like in this series, because it seems like Ben almost becomes Haverford like later on throughout this, like in the series, like he becomes the very person that he hates in this one. So
He does.
And that's why I think with that was sort of like, I guess the way I looked at it and was kind of just establishing. That's why this whole, I think, ties into the title, like past is the prologue. Like this, what they're doing right now is what they used to do in their past. But as this episode alone and the next 4 episodes, he is turning into Haverford. He is enjoying this slice of life. And so everything that, he was doing is sort of a buildup, right? So he stops doing this. This is like the only time we see it. Not to say that he's like slacking off, but he's so busy doing other things in the next 4 episodes that he doesn't have time to do it. And then obviously when once things start to get a little indifferent between the two guys' opinions, right? When Rafe's like, I can't do this anymore, like I'm out, and he leaves. It's like what happened to the Brotherhood there. Who messed up? And I love that point. That line that I can't think of the top of my head, but they're on the rooftop and Rafe approaches Rafe approaches Ben. Damn it. I'm going to do this all night. But yeah, I think just the way this episode sort of works, it's more on the lighter side to me, but once it transitions into the Iranian side of things, like while they're in Geneva here, the younger brother, Havid, I think his name is, says in the subtitles here, but he's a bit weary, because his older brother is a public speaker. People look to him. He has to answer the important questions. But he starts to feel a little indifferent, right? There's something about him that I think just kind of emits worry, concern, maybe cautiousness as well. But again, the idea is the plot is going to start to develop more in this episode. Like we now know what is actually happening, what the real deal is, and these guys are a part of the picture here. They're in play while they even say something happened to Denawi. He's gone, right? So okay,
he's not answering his phone anymore,
right? Yeah. So where is he? Right. So he's like, let's go grab tea. I'd prefer some wine. Blah blah blah. But yeah, it's like they are focused on this plan that they have, which we find more about. But again, it's another type of brotherhood that's happening. Like they are brothers, but they act completely different than the way Rafe and Ben do here. So I know it's kind of a little bit of an interesting, compare and contrast, especially because they go from scene to scene, right?
Well,
Brotherhood of goat fuckers. Yeah.
Well, the irony is the betrayal for the irony is the betrayal for both. So
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and the fact that happens on both sides, right? Like they're kind of just running parallel, but they are opposite. What's up, Canola? How you doing? Rafe is my favorite character in this show, and I loved him in the books. Love to hear that. And then Larry, got to read the books. Absolutely recommend it. I see Sith Lord Poet here. Hail Nick, Vex, and the great Gooch from the Sith Lord Poet. Good to see you here, Jerry. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. And then the other gentleman with broad and wide shoulders from up north, Zax.
Bun, brother.
How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the raid last night. Hope you're doing well, man. Looking forward to the movie battle for tomorrow night. It should be fun.
What years is it tomorrow night?
84 versus 86.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were just talking about how we did Terminator last night on Master of Mondays, and then we're talking about Ghostbusters also coming on that same year. Like there's some bangers in 84. So
84 was just I don't think there was a bad movie that I've ever watched come out of 1984.
I don't think
War
so
was crazy.
either. That was a stacked, like, you know, I don't remember off the top of my head what came out in 86, but I'm just immediately.
I can't think of anything that came out in 86. Like I'm drawing a blank.
84 has got that one. Yeah, like 84 should sweep in my opinion, but I mean, we do have people that wear certain crowns, and Aliens came out in 86.
Oh, okay, so that might win either the action or like horror category. More action than horror, though. I don't count Aliens as a scary.
See,
movie.
what's gonna happen, and not to we'll tie this back in, but what's gonna happen is there's gonna be the argument of, does it go in action adventure, does it go into sci-fi fantasy, or does it go into horror thriller? Like, so we'll see. But Rafe rules in this. His biceps are their own character. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I was wearing my own medium shirt representing Rafe. I did shoulders tonight, I had to make sure I get a nice little pump going, so yeah.
Yeah, I thought Top Gun was 86. Thanks, Zach. I wasn't sure. Yeah, Top Gun.
So we had the cinema battle on this guy's stream, Larry, Zach's. Go follow him. Someone wants to throw his link in the chat, but yeah, we have fun on Zach's channel Wednesdays and Saturday nights, Larry. So Zach's is awesome. Schmedium, yep. And talking more about the brothers, right? So they're all about winning. They want to stick to their game plan. And we see Mo, which is nice to see him come back. And he's having some little night terrors, some dreams. Obviously, you can hear. I love the way they did that, though, just for the sake of, startling him to wake up, and just this, you hear the different screams. Just good audio. I thought, but yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little bit of casual conversation, and tries to make the nightmares again like lighthearted, like, mama, my mother always used to say, like, nightmares are the dreams that oh god, well, now I'm having a mind blank. Wow.
Yeah. I know, I was trying to think of the line too. Are the memories that
you haven't
yeah,
you haven't gotten to yet, or I forget what it was, but
haven't accepted yet, or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, it the way she says it's meant to be like a positive thing, right? Like, even though it's a nightmare, like, it's, don't worry about it, don't fear it, like it's okay. There we go. Hey, what's up, Bill? It's Preston. Look, it comes in with the answer: dreams you haven't made friends with. Yeah. Yes, and again, it's such like a positive thing. You know what I'm saying? In to some degree, like, again, like maybe you don't want to make friends with those dreams, but, I think
it's the confrontation aspect. Like, the word friends is not the key word there. It's just more of like a filler for, it's the thing you haven't confronted yet, but in a more like, with a positive connotation, right? So that is one of the few moments where Tall doesn't seem like a complete dimwit to me. So I will give her credit for that.
Yeah, and I think that's also an important moment there later on in this episode, right? Like, so he has a nightmare in the car. She tries to make it, a little bit lighter about the, what she says there in that line, because later on, right, when she confronts him and says, you have a good soul, Mo. I feel like I can trust you, and he's like, even with that gun in your holster. She's like, good night, Mo. And it's like, like, you think Mo's dumb? Like, come on now.
They do such a good job introducing Mo. Like, there's like, this is really Mo's episode more than anyone else's, right?
100%.
everything they do with him is like, it's not in your face, it's not straight exposition dumps, it's like little things in like the way that his face will twitch or just the way that he carries himself in public, and it tells you so much about this character. Like, I'm actually amazed how much they were able to condense down just to show enough to understand that, like, hey, this is a damaged man. Like, he's seen some shit, he's been through some shit kind of deal. So I'm very impressed with that.
That and the paranoia, the constant paranoia throughout this episode.
Which is really interesting too, when he confronts Denawi's daughter in the hotel or the room, right? And he's like, don't worry, I'll sleep fine. And it's like, man literally has night terror, like, terrors and paranoia, like that he wakes up startled from. Like, yeah, man ain't sleeping soundly at night. Like maybe once in a while, but obviously I'd be willing to bet majority of the time, like, he has some rough nights.
I think it's a great demonstration of how easily he can flip that switch. I think that's what the line says more than anything. He doesn't have, like, like he's so cold blooded. Like, especially when it's just like, if you say anything, I'll kill you. I'll kill your mother. I'll erase your whole family from existence. Like, damn.
And
Mo.
The funny thing is there's like some Arab like curse words that I know that basically literally say that. It's like, like they don't say like, like, go fuck your mother, go fuck your father. There's like a curse word or phrase that's literally like, go fuck your entire like history down to like the very beginning of civilization. Like, it's like wherever your seed came from, like they can go fuck themselves. Like, so I thought personally that was a pretty like on spot scene again, like, or just the way it was written there. But you mentioned something about turning it on, the flipping the switch. We see that twice in this episode here. With Mo, and then with Ben on the train when he smiles at the girl, she waves high, and then boom, face, demeanor, everything changes, and he's like, when it's like, okay, you're good, CCTV is like smiling, kill mode. Like,
that was like, oh god, that scene just hit a lot harder because like there's the phone call with his, I guess, soon to be ex-wife. She's like, we were just talking about kids 8 months ago, and now I don't even know what's going on with you. And then flashes to this cute little girl on the train, and you're wondering, like, is Ben thinking about what he has just lost? Like, how is Ben confronting just that? Because the switch is so immediate, and we know that he's caring so much. But anyway, sorry, back to this scene. We're jumping ahead.
I know, we'll definitely talk more about that. Ish, new character. I remember thinking the first time I watched this, I'm like, so is this like his son maybe? Because it kind of seems like
that's what it seems like, doesn't it? Because it's like, oh, there's a secret relationship where like nobody needs to know, but it definitely is close because he does greet him a lot differently than everyone else.
Yeah, and it's like, where else would I be? He was retired, and but like they have different names, so I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's not.
I mean, that could also unless code, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought unless maybe Haverford wasn't Haverford's real name, right? Like
that too.
Or same thing. Like maybe Ish Reinhardt isn't his actual name either, But yeah, it's extra firepower, which is what Haverford's trying to do here as he's building this team. Is like, cool, I got 2 top dog frogmen, but team could be improved upon because he probably knows that, like, Tal is an idiot, and what's her face is she's got a little bit of a temper, and but I think what comes after this again kind of fits that like negative vibe. It's a vibe killer. Also, Tom's arms here look ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't know if Zach's still in chat, but yeah, dude, this is what
he's pretty jacked up.
He was mentioning right here, and this like Rafe Rules, and his biceps are their own character, and this is exactly what Zach's is referring to here. But
he can put me in a chokehold any day. Any day.
Vex is like, I wish it was me in that torture scene.
God damn. I wish he'd stretch me out like that shirt.
Jesus.
Oh man. It's funny standing next to Taylor Kitsch. I was like, man, he's actually a lot taller than.
Oh yeah, he's a
than
fucking
Taylor is.
unit of a guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's 6. I think he's 6'5", is he not?
Yeah, and I think I
Yeah.
want to say Taylor's 5'9".
Yeah, he looks about 5'9". He's
Yeah.
5'8", 5'9". He's a smaller guy.
Yeah. Felt like it was brother military. Yeah, who had a son who also came up, been around a lot of military growing up near Fort Benning and seen some relationships like that. Yeah, that's actually a good point. That could also be a possibility there. Like maybe he knew Ish's dad. Maybe his dad passed away when they were in Lebanon. Maybe again, I feel like that's something they could have explored a little bit more. Maybe in this season or. Had Reinhardt still been, had Haverford still, been alive. And this some bitch here, Landry, who's talking them up ironically, but they both hate his guts. Like, I'm not even gonna, be a gentleman and accept your handshake here. Yeah, because
and they don't like the decisions that they made that got him, ousted.
Yeah, it's like, believe me, you guys did the right thing, but like, you guys did cost me a job, and it's like, like, cost you a job. Like, we had our whole souls ripped off of us. Fuck your job.
Landry's a weird, because I think it's the next episode where he does that advancement on
Tall, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even understand why we had that scene, because it's just
it's set up. That's really all it is. That's like because Landry becomes a really big villain in later seasons of the main show.
Okay.
And that's the setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you mean in the books or like?
Sorry, in the books. So like if the main series like at least more or less sticks to the books, which I imagine they will, because otherwise why bother introducing Landry? Landry becomes a pretty notable antagonist. So I feel like they're just like, they're setting the especially casting a Hemsworth in there. They didn't just cast like a nobody in there. They want him to come back.
Yeah.
Find a girl that looks at you like Ben looks at Rafe.
So this is the part that I am talking about from last week there, Beck. So you start off with this little moment where he gets an update on the kids.
Right.
So it was worth the mission and doing what he set out to do.
Right.
Yep. And then later on this episode, again, we see what's her name having that conversation, Eliza having that conversation with Ben and talking about the book and the poems and stuff like that, and looking for her daughter. And that's a soft spot for Ben.
The family, the children, kind of thing.
Knowing, and like even the conversation he has with, I guess, his ex-wife, like after this, he knows he'll never have that. His life is different. He's out for the thrill. He's out for himself, even though he yearns for that family unit.
He's built different.
He's built different. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what I was getting at last week. And this week it kind of sets him up a little bit more. It dives a little deeper when you really watch him. Like, he wants to connect. He wants that. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say, like, I totally agree with you, and you can even just see in the way that he tries to connect with some of his teammates throughout this entire episode, even as well. But it's Ben makes for such a great, like, flawed protagonist because of just this is seriously, like, of any adaptation of a book I've ever seen, the change to Ben Edwards might be the best one ever, in all honesty. Like, this guy was just like, I'm evil, right, in the book, and they actually made him like an interesting, like, fully fleshed, like, complex character, and I absolutely love it.
I agree.
Did they do that, or did Taylor do that? Did Taylor bring that personality to the character?
No. So in the first book, like Terminal List book, like, Ben Edwards is literally just like a comic booky evil villain. Like, he's just like, they don't flesh out the character at all. You know that him and James have a background together, that they were in the SEALs at one point. So that's more or less accurate. Same with like Ben going through wives, like that little detail is accurate. but otherwise he is not as prominent of a character throughout the book at all, and he is just like evil bad guy, like he's just Dr. Evil by the end of the novel. So it's a completely different character altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I watched the show before I watched Coach Taylor.
Zach's. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
So do you think that's where the writing comes in, like the writing improved, where he didn't really know how to, set him up better in the first book?
That's what I'm wondering too.
I think so.
As enjoyable as that first book is, it is very amateurish in the way that it explores and introduces a lot of characters. So like I'm majorly impressed with season 1 of the Terminalist because it refines because Jack Carr in that first novel especially just has this habit of going on and on and on and on to trying to describe like this is what the weapons are like, this is what the training is like, this is what the lifestyle is like. It's like, okay, that's great, but like it's just like you can skip over chunks of the book because he does that so often. But like, oh God, Ben's such a great character change, and they really they tighten up James Reese's character and his motivations throughout season 1 as well. They make they flesh out the antagonist a little bit more, so this quest for revenge feels a little bit more justified. And it also again is like dropping those little truth bombs about what's going on in the real world or what the motivations could be, for our real world politicians and medical organizations and all of that stuff. So I honestly think that aside from Katie, because why the fuck would you put this fucking little, overstuffed dumpling as Katie Bierneck? But other than that, I would say that Terminalist season 1 is leaps over the book. Leaps.
I agree. Like I said, I think I told you, Vex, like the first book is a page turner. I mean, it's easy to get through, but you can definitely see, like the amateur level writing. And I mean, you've read the second book, so you can see maybe how it improved.
He's improved. Oh yeah, he's really improved book over book. Like the first half of book 2, I couldn't put it down. It shifts gears about halfway through, but like the first half, because it's really just James Reece confronting everything he's done over the last several months and finally accepting the loss of his family. And there's just it's tough to read sometimes. That's all.
Yeah, because I also have the audio book for Cry Havoc. I bought the audio book as well. And Ray Porter, I don't know if you know who Ray Porter is.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Yeah,
he's an is he Canadian?
No, he's American.
American actor. He's done a bunch of stuff.
He was Darkseid in Justice League.
Yeah, he did the voice of Darkseid. But he's done a bunch of stuff. Really good reading voice as well, but he does the narration for Cry Havoc and just has a really good delivery, and so it just fits the setting of that Vietnam era. So if anyone's interested in also listening to the audiobook, or if you prefer audiobooks over actual books, this one's a easy pickup in my opinion because of Ray Porter narrating the whole thing. So like that's actually another thing that when I'm listening to it being delivered by Ray Porter and thinking and just hearing the words that Jack Carr's said, I'm like, man, like this is so much better than the first Terminalist book. So it's like I've gone from like his first book to his 8th book, and I'm like, yeah, that's a huge gap in writing and just I think just giving detail to what matters as the scenes and the pages are moving onward. Right. So, but I think that's what also works well about this show. Like, things happen rather quick, and I think we mentioned this already, but everything has a payoff. Everything is leading up to something, much like this creepiness scene that comes in later on between Tal and Landry in the next episode. Mm-hmm. I mean, they set something up in this season that will happen in the next season for season 2 of The Journalist. I mean, if this was a Disney show, that would be an open ending. We would never hear about it. We would never. Why would they include that creepy show? Because it fit for the setting, and because guys bad and women protect, and we don't know how to write shows. Look, female superhero, pew pew, something like that, right? Like they don't have any idea.
I mean, if this were a Disney show, like they'd forget his name was Landry and name him something else in the next season. So
yeah,
maybe an entirely new actor at that point. I mean, who knows, right? But yeah, like even the encrypted phone that she's been working on, and we actually have a hit on, and I think this definitely speeds up the mission, right? Things have been elevated, whereas Mo is supposed to lay low a bit. And it's like, nope, but you're going straight into action. Mm-hmm. And I think it's great for the episode too, because if you're thinking, okay, well, why is Mo here? How long do we have to wait till we see Mo have some sort of relevance? Well, actually right away. So I think it works well for the episode because, as you mentioned, Vex, this is very much his highlight here.
It's his episode, yeah.
Yeah, and so back in Budapest, which do you say Budapest or Budapest? Because I've heard both, and I don't know which one's technically correct, but I always like saying Budapest.
The Keanu Reeves version is technically correct. Budapest.
Yeah, Budapest.
I always say Bud a pest.
Bud a pest?
No.
Or you could look at it like maybe something Sean Connery would say, I'll take Bud Ape Street for 500 Trebek. That's Budapest, Mr. Connery.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said that Budapest, though. That's just
Same.
how I've always heard it. Yeah.
I like this scene a lot because number one, you can tell just how experienced Mo is. The fact that obviously, we've got people scoped out and everywhere. Like they mentioned, this is going to be great for being up,
Can I just point out the biggest thing about this? Because this entire setup scene. So every spy movie that does the whole cafe sneaky scene, every actor is so polished and so beautiful that you're just like, no, that nigga can't be here for real. No, come on. Everyone would notice him or her if they were in a crowd, right? But these guys just look normal. If I would never. I mean, Ish is a pretty handsome fella. I'll give him that, right?
Well, no, they all are wearing sunglasses. All of them. They're all wearing the dark sunglasses. That's a giveaway right off the hop.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's that obvious compared to because I'm thinking of that scene from Civil War, the opening for Civil War. I'm just if I saw a chick that looked like fucking Scarlet Witch just sitting at a cafe, I'd be like, hey girl, hey, how you doing? But I'm not gonna walk up to Mo and do that. I'm probably not gonna walk up to Ish because Ish looks kind of like a homeless dude with those bags under his eyes and whatnot. So I'm just aesthetically it works. That's all I'm saying.
Hi Rossi. It's the 3 sexiest people on the internet. Shucks. How you doing, Rossi? How's your night going?
Though, Rossi. You flatter us though.
I'm blushing, but my beard's hiding it. But yeah, I agree. I think they fit in well, right? Now again, had it been Ben or Rafe sitting there, right? Then you're like, okay, something's up, right? But
this fucking 6'5" Rhodesian kind of freak show just sitting here. Okay, all right, that's not sus.
Yeah, this Rhodesian freak strength, whatever he says at the beginning of the episode, which is hilarious. But I think the actress, the way that maybe the girl was directing this to looked panicked, right? Looked like something you're upset, which is just easy to do. But the fact that the idea is to track her down, see where she's going. Because what's the payoff for this, right? What's the connection here that, Mo is about to be invested in? And I think this kind of, this conversation aids a little bit too for Landry's creepiness. Like he's not just creepy to.
There's levels to him.
Yeah,
in
like
this, I didn't
levels.
realize it. Right. I didn't realize this the first time I watched it, but on rewatch, I was like, oh, so he's the only guy that we kind of see and indulge in this treat while they're on fucking detail, which is strange. So it's kind of already it's setting the thing of, oh, he can't really control himself, like in just that little way. Then the way that he decides to make small talk, where he doesn't need to make small talk, is to talk about how one of their fellow operatives is cute, which I guess we get the payoff for that in the next episode. But the drink just really stood out to me because I was like, you don't see any of these other guys, even when they're going undercover and stuff, indulge in something like so like strange or fancy or just kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Inconvenient. Having an iced frappe is really fucking inconvenient.
Yeah. I'd be worried about having issues later on with with the bowel system. Like you don't do dairy.
Right.
Exactly.
The dairy, the caffeine getting you like you got to piss like a racehorse then as well. It's just strange. But I like this shot of Rach. She's like, "What am I doing here?"
Yeah. Because he's like, that Tal's a cutie. And he's like, yeah, she works well. She's good at her job. You know, like is looking at it from like a business professional point of view. While he's probably like, all right, this guy's a fucking creep, but you know, let me just reroute and stay on task here because I am a professional and we're here to do a job. And once the job's done, then we can get the hell out of here, right? As they said originally, that's the plan. But I feel bad for Rafe being stuck in the van with Landry here. Like I'm like that's probably something no one wanted to do, but here we are.
There's a lot actually revealed about Rafe in that entire conversation too, because they're talking about game meets, right? And she's like, "Oh, I'll call you Tarzan." He's like, "No, Tarzan was British. I'm South African." But the dialogue is not just like it's not just like kind of comedic to help slice up the tension, but it just kind of reveals a little bit more about why Rafe is as suspicious and cautious as he is. Because like game hunting in South Africa is no fucking joke, especially when it comes to dealing with like poachers and like bush tribes and stuff like that. So like he already has that skill kind of just ingrained to him outside of the military. So it builds up Rafe even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Like that's a little bit of a backstory for Rafe. Like, tending to the meats, what type of meats, how the hunt works. I mean, I think he even kind of dealt with the insult rather well. Like he wasn't really offended by it. He's like just dropping facts. Like,
right. He was just confused by it.
Africa. Like, are you that daft? But there again, like you are having a frappe on stakeout mission. So yes, you are that daft. Also, you were part of the reason why we lost our tridents in the first place.
Yep.
Yeah. So kindly go fuck yourself. As Roman said, he's a nice little bundle of sticks. But yeah, this is the point you're talking about, Gooch, where it's like, what are we doing here? We're just killing time, part of the mission, or what?
Well,
but
it says a lot about his character. Ben is like the first season. It was James, and it was just like it was incredible to go through that experience with Chris Pratt and how he developed that character and how intense it was. Unbelievable. The direction's great. This series, the direction I feel like is even better because they give you subtle hints of where Ben, if you don't follow close enough, even when he has the conversation with Haverford and he talks about, USC volleyball, all this stuff, but barely graduated high school.
Right.
And you now you're kind of piecing together Ben and you're understanding like he probably was like an at-risk youth or a lost kid, you know what I mean? And went to the military to, find
get
that
his shit
family,
together at least.
Find that family unit, right? You're going to get direction. And maybe he didn't go there purposely. Maybe he got told he had to go there. Maybe he got in trouble with the law and they said, send him to the military, whatever, to get that, discipline and all that stuff. Who knows? But you're kind of getting that
Go back a slide.
You're kind of getting this mysterious background with Ben, and you're starting to understand Ben a lot more. And
yeah,
I love how the direction of him, the acting, and especially the dialogue from him too. It's phenomenal.
Simple, effective, says so much about him without doing much.
Yes.
Oh god, they do. Yeah, I totally agree with you when it comes to like the writing. Like, yeah, it was really like heart-wrenching, and it really got you in the feels seeing what James went through in the first season. But it's like the little mistakes that they've made throughout that, it's like they learned from that, and it's a tenfold improvement here for a character that was basically just conjured up from the dust. Like, this is nothing like the Ben Edwards from the book, right? I just wanted you to go back because look at how saggy this fucking woman's tits are. They're literally popping out of the side of her shirt. Continue.
I'm glad a woman had said that and not Gooch or myself. But
like, he goes out of his way. Like, there's no need for him to do this. Like, get a book.
There isn't. No.
Like, but this is the character. This is like, he's all about family and everything, but yet he knows he can never have one of his own. He can never stay committed to one person or to raising a family because his life is action. It's the being out in the field. That is where he's supposed to be because that's what saved him. I think that's what saved him as a child. That is my kind of guess on everything, but
that, you know what? Yeah. Like, that actually cements kind of the brief conversation him and Eliza have. I think it was in episode 5 or episode 6.
Yeah.
Before she sadly dies, right? It's just like, we're meant, like, this, the field is where we're meant to be. This is our place in this lifetime. So I totally agree with you, especially that little, like, the thing that Haverford says about his wife. I thought the same thing. It's like, this was not a guy that had his shit together, and he probably went into the army because it would give him some sort of stability in one way or another.
Yeah.
And that brotherhood, that companionship, everything,
that sense of belonging, that sense of having a place. Yeah. All
of that.
Yeah. No, that's great observations, guys. I'm gonna say what's up to Turbo Phil. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Maybe I'll go back and watch this series again, but the first episode was less action, more dark, so I'll listen to your review. I appreciate that, man. I really do. And like Larry kind of said to your response, definitely picks up maybe a little bit too much, but it definitely picks up the pace after episode 1. I would recommend going back and
there's action in every episode after episode 1, but it's not balls to the wall action. It's enough action to keep you intrigued, but it's action that pays off. So it never feels like it gets stale or repetitive or overbearing because it's the tension builds up with the narrative and between the characters so well that the action is just kind of the fuse that sets it all off in each episode, and it works wonderfully. Like, I found myself consistently enthralled by the action scenes because they were just set up and paid off so incredibly well in every single episode.
Very strategic with the way they did that. Yeah,
exactly. Right. I was gonna say they're well placed in every episode so that, like, you don't feel like, oh, okay, well, just kind of like, dragging on, like, oh, finally an action scene. Like, it's well placed in every episode. So
well, that and like Vex, I was piggybacking on Vex said because I totally agree with her. It creates the intensity of every scene, like when getting into the action. Like, even with Mo when he's walking down the street here trying to escape, there's a little bit of action there, but it's intense as hell. You're
tense.
Just like, just like, you're like, holy shit! Like, is he going to get out of this one? Like.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that more. There was someone else, I forgot, maybe it was last week, that also thought she was hot. Was it you, Waylon, or was it Jamma that popped in here and said that? I want to say it was maybe Jamma.
I think it was Jamma, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Hosty, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Good to see you. And Shieldball, my friend, how are you? Good to see you here, man. Yeah. Wilfred Owen's poetry for sure. And I think that's another thing too. The reason why that was picked, again, from a writing perspective, but the fact that, Jack Carr decides to give Owens as the book he picks out, like the meaning behind his short life that he lives. Like there's a lot of meaning behind that. Like, you know, what he couldn't have, right? The heroes that didn't get to live long. The people that never got to have families, right? I think that might speak a little bit more because like he you know, when she's working on the bike, right? I think he tried to spit a little game, but she, you know, candidly deflects. It's like, you know, I think you're, you know, skipping your rounds there, pirate, you know, which interesting thing to say, but, you know, nonetheless, I think this was sort of a continuation, like, you know, and I'm wondering like, oh, okay, because things have gone south with his wife, you know, is this him looking at her like as a, you know, temporary rebound
that
what
hasn't happened yet. I think it's more that, and this is a subtle thing that they just kind of place between Ben and Eliza, which I appreciate the writer is not going full romance between these two. Yes. But I think it's more that because Ben doesn't have those anchors in his life, because he doesn't ever really have that family of his own, that place where he belongs. There is a bit like, there is kind of an interesting, like, female, like a yin and yang thing that kind of happens between Ben and Eliza. Like they understand their roles in this world. They understand what their purpose is. They understand the rules of engagement about living such a life, and they don't ever try to cross that barrier. I think Ben, with kind of the disarray things are in after leaving the SEALs, and then, you know, a third divorce happening now, Eliza kind of just becomes like a pillar of opportunity for a moment. But she's also kind of done what he has failed at. She has a family. She has a daughter. Yeah. Right. And yet she still has ended up in the exact same situation that Ben is in now. So I think it's more just like these are characters that reflect each other, like the masculine version, the feminine version. It works out nicely. I'm glad that the writers did not push it past that, though, because as it is, it does so much for both characters separately.
It would have ruined the series.
It really would have.
Yeah. Oh, I know, and I'm glad that never happened, right? Because like I didn't want to see that, and I'm like, please don't let this turn into this thing. Like I don't want to see that,
right?
Yeah. So thankfully it doesn't. But you know, yeah, Ben.
Sorry, who is King Cunt referring? Is that Leon he's talking about?
Yeah.
Your streams are so much manually with us. There's literally a vagina pepper on your screen, which is wild.
Yeah. I might still think that's manlier than Leon, but yeah. I know I thought this scene was just sort of funny. I'm like, here's Ben just looking through the window, like checking this guy out who's a nuclear physics physicist, right? But yeah, they're working on a nice little uranium weapon at some point, but I think they say within a year's time, I believe it is. But this is the great scene because Ish seems almost like he's a stone cold killer to it in an operative sense. It's like, need me to do it? I'll do it. You sure you got it?
It's because between this scene and the scene that we just had before, again, so Ben and Eliza are two parallels of the same kind of person. Mo and Ish are very much the same way. Because Mo has such a dark past and he's had that personal touch with what we learn later, he's able to kind of empathize with Denawi's daughter later on in the scene. But these are the same individuals. So it's like Haverford even knows the chess pieces that he's playing around with, even if the rest of the team doesn't. And that's also why he kind of doesn't put Rafe with much. Like he puts Rafe as such an out of field player that he tends to just keep him on his own, with the exception of this episode.
Well, because he knows that Rafe would question every move.
Exactly.
Right here. Yeah. Like Rafe is, I think, more analytical when it comes to this stuff, where these guys are more loyal and just will follow.
You're not wrong, Waylon. You're not wrong.
What you did want to turn into a bull milking fantasy show? Exactly. Yeah. Mo reminds me a lot of Saeed from Lost. Probably that's why I like him so much. Oh yeah, and that's a good point.
I don't see that actually at all.
Yeah.
Aside from them both being brown, I don't see that at all.
If he had longer hair, maybe. I think it's just like maybe the shape of his actual like facial hair. But maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Could be a brown thing too, but dark pasta. Yeah. But I mean, I remember when I first watched this episode thinking like, what's actually going to happen? I mean, the man's already waiting in the room, which I like how from just a cinematic or cinematography point of view, like how she opens, shuts the door, and then camera just moves slightly to the right, and it's like, oh hey, I've been here, like, be quiet. Like really like that. Kind of almost has this like spy, thriller feel to it. But again, I think this fits as Waylon said in chat, like it fits that thriller more than action vibe. And as he talks to her in Arabic, I think it's his as I watched it this time, his posture doesn't seem like, and this is just sort of my observation, his posture doesn't quite seem like he wants to do it based on how he's holding the gun. Like he's kind of keeping it more close to his chest, which I'm not saying that's like incorrect, but I'm almost like thinking if it was someone else, they'd have their arms fully extended as if like they are trying to be more aggressive or more threatening or more serious.
I thought the posture was just more indicative of he's still like, even though his gut is telling him that she's not a threat, he doesn't know definitively that she's not a threat. So if he were to hold the gun out further, then if she is like a spy or an operative of some kind, she could easily disarm him.
Right. Right. But yeah, I think it was an interesting turn of events here. That's the fact that she's his daughter, and he even says Denali had no kids, and it's like she's like, want to bet? Let me just show you a photo here, and I was like, oh shit, like
Exhibit A, bitch.
Damn. Mo got called out there, and but I think that's one thing that definitely changes his mind, and obviously a huge like decision here, because you even hear those screams. He has that paranoia, as you mentioned earlier, Gooch, come to him right at this very moment, and maybe that's the one thing that kind of aided in preserving her life.
Well, the setup is from the first time we see Mo with the night terrors, right? So that's the beautiful thing about this show, and we've mentioned it the last few episodes. The setups, there's payoffs. So like we know that he struggles with some of the deaths that he's had to do in the past, and that's where the title also kicks in. And he's just like, this is an innocent life, that she's not a threat, so why do I need to kill an innocent person for what what's the, there's no rhyme or reason to do this in his head, even though he knows that it needs to be done, because then there could be a possible leakage or information coming out later or whatever that can come back and haunt them. But the writing for this is just top notch.
Very tight. Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, even with the way he leaves the room, I mean, it's obviously a silenced pistol, and you don't see the body, right? But it's the
contrast between their faces, just cutting back and forth between them. It makes it even more tense. Like you can build so much when you're not just thinking that you have to dump everything in fucking dialogue, every show thinks it needs to do these days.
Yep. And go ahead, Gooch.
The follow-up after this is like, do you want to talk about it? And he's like, nope. And he's like, they all say the same thing.
They never do, right? Like, and I mean, just like, the way he leaves, and because it's just, and you're like, oh, that had to go like straight in her head or her chest, right? Because she didn't make a sound. So, okay, and then just walks right on by. Like, they never want to talk about it, right? Like
there's a couple things here. Like it lets me know that he is struggling from it as well. Because you want to talk about, meaning like, I got stuff I got to get off my chest as well.
Same person. There you go.
Exactly.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah. I was gonna say like that. That definitely calls to him being in that same camp as Mo. To your point, Gooch. Yeah. Yeah, and it's again, like there's these small things that in snippets that we're learning of Ish Reinhardt, but sadly they all end in this episode. But you learn he's got a bit of a strategic mind, right? He knows, is obviously very good at gathering intel and having to do a tough job by taking out people covertly. But as the team is again trying to strategize together, again this scene we mentioned before, where Tao comes in and confronts Mo, and again this is more great writing of that non-verbal communication where they just tell us a little bit, and then those are lines from Tao, right? Like, so we were tracking her phone, and her phone stayed there, but I picked her up in CCTV. That's all you need to say, and you're like, oh shit.
Right.
Like, so do you know what that means, guys in the audience watching? That means when Mo left, he actually didn't, it's like we don't need to be told that because we actually see it. And the fact that we see it and what he says again, in that harsh line, like if you mentioned anything, any sort of relation to your father, like I'll obliterate your entire family generation. Right. Like, so, and I'll sleep soundly at night. Kind of, but
this is the problem we've been talking about with so many TV shows and movies where the dialogue is just awful, and then you see something like this where it seems very organic. It's got a flow to it. There's a setups. There's like the audience is following, like yep, and they're coming to their own conclusions. Like it's like beautifully done. Like I don't know how much more we can say. Like the direction, the writing, and everything is just top notch for this.
The comparison you can, again, like this is something we even notice just if we look back at movies in the 90s and the 80s 70s. These are all writers that are writing from experience, and it definitely does help that Jack Carr himself was involved in this, because you can see that there's a man with a past, with a certain experience, with a certain set of skills that is influencing the narrative and the cultivation of all of these characters. And the writers are taking that, they're picking up on that and translating it well onto the screen. So that's where the difference is. And then you get shit like Alien Earth, where it's like, it's clear that nobody behind that show has children, interacts with children, deals with children. There's no experience there that they're able to draw from.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many other writing issues with that, but I mean,
I agree though. I mean,
Waylon, you gotta save that for when Gord is here. You can't be like talking shit about the killer when he's not here.
Oh, the killer is overrated.
It is. Yes.
Yeah,
so overrated. Oh.
Gord loves it though.
Wait, that's the show that takes place out in like Seattle, right? With the one woman and
no,
it's
the Michael Fassbender movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I was thinking of a TV show, I guess. Yeah, is a mid movie.
Mid is generous.
Yeah, very generous.
Oh, I know.
Thank you, Roman. Bless your heart, Roman.
We all had PTSD from watching it and covering it here. If you want to go to sleep. Exactly. Well said, Roman. But yeah, this is the scene that gets cut out because he shoots to the side, and yeah, this is the threat of all threats, Yeah, and why wouldn't you take him seriously? I mean, when he's looking at you like this, it's like, well, I could have been dead right now, but I'm not. And
look at how much his fucking eyes say.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, God.
Non-verbal communication here is so well done, so well directed and enacted from him. So
it's kind of like before they even like shot anything, they gave each and every actor like, here's just like a short novel on history about your character, and they understood the assignment from that, because like the way that all of these actors just fit so perfectly into their roles and are just so believable in each one, except for Tall. Fuck you, Tall, you dumb bitch. But they all fit in so wonderfully. Like I'd really like to know what more of the creative process was behind the scenes for this.
I agree. Yeah. And that would be something like I if I could ever talk to someone on set from this show, like that would be what's all the behind the scenes stuff? Like I would love to pick Jack Carr's brain, or Taylor Hitch's brain, or Tom Hopper's brain, just whoever it is, like, just to, or even the actor who plays Mo, like just anyone that was in the show from start to finish, like talk to me about like all the behind the scenes stuff, like leading into your character building, like, from these scenes. It just, I think that's what makes this so exciting. I mean, this scene again, like why is it carrying around this card, right? It's an ace of spades, but it's like this guy, killed my father.
And his sisters. He
and
raped
his sisters,
and killed
raped
his sisters.
Yep. And so, I mean, you could tell that the card is old. It's worn. It's bent. It's been bent multiple times. Got like some sort of, drink coffee stains on it or tea stains on it. But I mean, again, just even from this look that he's giving Talad, is telling her this story, why he does what he does, like what his purpose is, and why he let Denami's daughter go. Like there's such a great connection there. And again, just how you tie two scenes together with logical writing. Like I don't want to just,
I think it's a combination of the writing, the direction, and the acting. It's meshed so well. Like everybody like there's not one flaw in the series. Seriously, like it's exceptional.
A little bit, Bobby. What's up, dude? Can't wait to have Tilda Swinton explain my character to me while she drinks scotch. What's up, Blue Collar? How you doing, man? Gonna catch replay since was just listening to Nadia's interview. True that. Hope she's doing well. The Ace of Spades is an Iraq war thing. Yeah, it was the targets that our military was after. Yep, I do remember that. They labeled the Husseins and other high officials with a deck of cards. I remember that.
Oh, that's crazy, Roman. That's actually crazy.
That's cool though. Yeah, poor Ben here. Which, do you feel bad for him?
Yes and no.
Yeah, not really.
Like I understand that there's things that he desperately wants, but he still can't fully recognize that those are things that he just can't have. Like it's just not meant for him. He's not meant to have him. At the same time, it's like during this conversation, even though he knows that he can't tell her a whole lot, you can hear the adoration in his voice while talking. Like it's just like she has like, I don't even know if you're okay. And he says like, he says it lovingly, like I'm okay. But she's just not picking up on it. So it's he kind of let it come to this, but at the same time, it's like, I feel for you, dude. It's pretty shitty to like being told you're getting divorced over the phone,
Right.
So.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, he keeps pulling these people into his world and for his kind of selfish needs, really, and knowing that it's never going to be the promises that he makes are never going to be fulfilled. So it's you know
that's where the
broken.
guilt is coming from.
The guilt, yeah, that's he's broken, but he's unwillingly, like he's not willing to like accept or correct his behaviors. Like he knows
struggling
who he is.
with that introspection. Like he can't do that on himself, but he can do it perfectly when he's the one looking like at someone else.
Yeah. So it's tough to feel bad for him when like he's just a driven lost soul. Like he is who he is. And
yeah, And I think too with this conversation, like that, it maybe a little creepy that Haverford just chilling, listening to it. I mean, kind of makes sense to some degree, like him being in this line of work, that he was just sort of there, and Ben didn't know it. Which maybe to Ben's point, it's like, hey, maybe even be aware of your surroundings, even in a sort of like black site like this, because how well do you know a person that you don't know, especially with Haverford's history. And even like Rafe, who is your brother, being concerned. Like, not saying you have to be as concerned as him, but keep a lookout over your shoulder. But it's like what Haverford says here. It's like, doesn't mean you're a bad op. Doesn't mean you're a bad
bad person,
just
means
brotherhood.
You're a shitty
like,
husband.
At the end of the day, you're just a shitty husband. And like to Waylon's comment there, like the divorce rate for spec ops is like 100%. And doesn't surprise me. This is the kind of work that they have to do, like, year in, year out. But I think for Haverford here, when he asked, like, did that help? And is like, nope, it didn't help at all, boss. Like, I don't think that this was like a manipulation conversation, because that's what Haverford is good at. Like, he presents himself as an ally, but at the same time, he's very well with words, which is exactly how he initially got Ben with the hook, line, and sinker, and was still able to get Rafe, even though Rafe was like, "No, I'm out."
It's interesting because I actually thought the complete opposite for this. I saw this as Haverford trying to tame a potential guard dog, sort of deal. Like, it's just like, oh, you destroyed government property. It's okay. I understand. Now the blow will be a little bit less when you see what I'm doing, which in a way it was with what we see what happens later on in the season, right? It's, oh, like you're going through this. Yeah, you're going through this tough spot. It's like, don't worry, I've been there. I can tell you that just because you're a shitty husband, you can still be a great fucking killer for me, something that you're good at. Right. Yeah. So it's like, I saw this as like positive reinforcement of the worst kind. And it worked on Ben is what's sadder.
That's why the end. Yeah. And the ending just ties it all together perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just about to say,
the first season even makes it more of a kick in the junk, because you're just like, oh yeah, Ben does become Haverford later on. Like, he becomes the very person that he hated.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I was thinking the same thing as you were saying it, Gooch. This conversation, I think, has impact on the final conversation between these two guys. I think because of what Haverford's trying to do, and I agree with you, Vex, with trying to, tame the wolf, tame the guard dog. Because wait till you see what I'm cooking up, which he has no idea how deep Jed's network is, right? Like, he has no idea how much he actually knows. He's just kind of seeing at things like for face value, and maybe like a sliver at a time, a slice of cheese at a time. We're kind of seeing, oh, okay, there's a little bit more about Jed, a little bit more, because the day goes on, the mission goes on, the mission is proceeding in this whole, Iranian nuclear deal. And I think Ben's also very curious, and again, to our point earlier about everyone sort of being at their stakeout positions, I think based on where everyone is located, it's fitting, right? Landry being in the van makes sense. Having Ben up at a perch, quote unquote, fixing up, some double doors or whatever, windows. You don't want someone who looks like Ben, kind of just sitting by themselves at a table.
It also goes back to earlier when she says, pirate, you need to be on your watch. And then they kind of make him like in the crow's nest here, looking down, you kind of have that tie-in. It's subtle, but it's just kind of like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here.
It's almost like, what do they call it in a pirate ship when you're up top? It's kind of like where he crow's nest. Yeah. So he is at the crow's nest up top. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Again, all these guys fit in. Like, I can believe this. They don't look out of place. I mean, except for Rafe. Like,
I was going to say, the only thing I have to say is Rafe here looking as buff as he is.
He should be sitting down or something.
Yeah.
What tall man with sunglasses and a book reads standing up? Like, But I even think for this scene again, like Mo is able to keep his composure.
The cafe in Beirut.
Yep.
Yeah. Even drop a little fact. They make their own honey there with the bees, right? So yeah, just I guess just an interesting conversation just to show that even in a tight deal like this that he's faced with, he can still maintain his composure and get the job done, right? Like obviously he has to hurry up because Rafe spots a third party, right? So the deal is happening a lot quicker than intended, which this is what the big deal is these bearings that are allowing the machine that will have the uranium, if I remember correctly, for it to go over 1,500 RPMs, which is sort of like, that's no territory for nuclear devices. And of course, this innocent-looking college professor is the one who kind of comes up with this, but this is, you start to feel a little tension, right? Because you're wondering, okay, is the deal going to go down smoothly? And I think the first time I watched this episode, it definitely felt to me, I'm like, Mo's going to die. He's going to die, right? Like they're going to kill him off. Like, he's set up like he's going to get separated. And I feel like it definitely has that feeling, that tension. Cause especially at the end when he's like, goes through that little shop there, takes the two guys out, but then he looks down one way, sees guys coming, looks down the other way, and he's like, oh, damn, I'm trapped. Like, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. And then lo and behold, here comes Creeper Landry to the rescue, which I was like, part of me, again, I don't know if I'm alone on this, but part of me thought, is Landry somehow behind this too? Is he involved? Maybe? Is he acting like a...
I didn't think that, but it's kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah, as I say, it might have just been me for like when I first watched this. I'm like, maybe he's not such a scumbag after all, because
it's because like someone else in the chat mentioned like for what Landry does in the next episode, like why put that in there? I'm glad that this show does, like, as much as it very well could have, I'm glad that it doesn't introduce so many plot lines with open ends for the sake of a second season. And if they were to develop Landry more, that's what it would be. It would just be like another thread that isn't resolved. At least now I can be like, oh, there's potential to see where this goes. But like, I'm glad that I can watch this and it is its own contained story.
Yeah.
I do have to bounce out of here quick. Apologies.
All good. Yeah. So up.
I'll catch you guys later on the late night. Stay Gucci, everyone. And great episode. Awesome episode.
Oh, how would you rate the episode before you go?
I would give it about 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
True
right,
that.
Take it easy, bro. All right.
I'll catch you later, man.
See you later.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, absolutely. Goodbye.
But yeah, I think the tension in this whole scene here is well done. I mean, I think the slight change in attire, I'm like, I mean, I don't know how well that would have worked, but maybe it did. Obviously, it kind of didn't for these two guys because they're like, well,
I mean, that's usually like because I listen to a lot of true crime. Okay, but it's like usually like when they put out like an APB or something, it's always they put the description of the outfit they were last in. So even though this is a really, really subtle change, it's enough that people wouldn't look for it unless you were trained like all of these spies are, right? So like to me, I was like, that's a nice little touch to add in there, and it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, again, like if you're getting down to the detail, like black jacket, bald, beard, brown skin, gray pants, right? Like, I mean, if there's a lot of people who have beards and darker skin, easier to blend in, which maybe in that city, easy, definitely could be done. But same thing, you put a hat on, you take away the hair, the baldness, you switch the jacket. Yeah, I mean, it's like the likelihood of someone wearing a gray pants is highly probable, right? The jacket obviously sort of just, it matches, like, oh, gray and gray, cool. Like maybe that's just someone who is has a little fashion sense, maybe to that extent. But yeah, because these are people that know what they're looking for because they're trained to a certain extent. Like they're not going to be fooled by it. But and the fact that Landry just gets in is or picks him up is like I said, when I first watched it, I was like, oh, okay. Like Landry coming in to save the day. Like that's good for him. But as the scene itself is developing, and I love this little shot here. I want to make sure I got a screenshot of it, just because we can see more. I was trying to zoom in a little bit more here. So we can see where everyone is, and I like this sort of layout of the city. So we've got Mo and Landry. They're heading in they're going to the left here. I don't know what this is, north, south, east, or west, but they're heading left. Eliza's staying put. Ben's on is on his I guess the bike, whatever it is there. Rafe's still on foot, but Ish is like way over here, right?
He's got eyes on the suspect, yeah. Right,
so he's tailing him, and it's like Ben can get there quicker than Rafe can, as he says, like, I'm just like a minute behind you, brother. Like, wait, or Chief is like, wait for me, right? But Ben had smelt blood. Like I think he just knew that,
like you said last episode, fuck the brakes, and Rafe knows immediately, like, I can't let this dude go off again. Like, it's I gotta get after him, and he keeps saying, like, Ben, don't engage, let me get there.
Yeah, which is like it kind of sucks for Rafe. And so, I'll say I feel sorry for Rafe. It's not what I'm trying to say. It's like
you empathize with him, right?
Yeah, I empathize for Rafe here in this instance, because like, especially in this next moment of this scene right here, the moment Ben identifies that Ish is dead, and of course, like, everyone else around him completely clueless,
oblivious
to the fact that, hey, there's a dude here with a giant slice in his neck, clearly dead, but we're just going to continue to ignore him. I mean, like, that's a flesh wound.
Just, oh gosh, yeah,
like,
it's actually chunk. Crazy. I was gonna say, like, this scene also, like, Rafe just trying to tell Ben, like, to just wait for me. It does mirror the opening for this episode, where Rafe was running behind Ben throughout that entire little exercise course. Rafe is just always, like, chasing after this dude.
Yeah. And I feel bad for Ish here, right? Like, the moment Ben says Ish is KIA, and again, the way it affects Haverford here, and I'm like, yeah, there has to be some closer connection. It's like, who really feels that way about one of their operators, right? One of their assets, like,
unless it's a son,
unless it's
I really think it was a son. Yeah, I think it's a tease thing. They didn't need to reveal it necessarily, but it was a tease thing, and it adds a little bit of weight to Haverford, because all we've seen him be is a manipulator up until this point. We didn't think he had any emotion past getting what he wants.
Yeah. I mean, he is like, you get that son of a bitch. Like, he's not in tears or anything like that, but like, you can tell, like, and even like the inflection of his voice, he's like, you get that son of a bitch, Ben. Like,
right.
You fucking kill him. Like, like, there's like this, like, he's like serious about it. I mean, yeah. And it's weird how peaceful, and maybe in a creepy sense, how peaceful he looks here as he's dead. That giant chunk out of his neck.
How peaceful he looks while he's dead. I mean,
but like, no one else, Well, no, but what I'm saying, like it's because no one else is there, like that's paying attention to him except for Ben.
I
Like,
gotcha.
It's like there's noise because people are chatting, but there again, like there's not any noise. Like let's say like the train leaves, everyone gets on the train, and it's just him there in the station, still sitting there. Like, what if Ben never got there, right? Like it's just him.
It's a bit of meta commentary again. Like Jack Carr does this in his writing quite a bit too. It's the world is so busy, and so like everyone's just in their own bubble that they never look outside of it and see what the world is really like, sort of deal. And there's if I'm remembering correctly, that was in part of the conversation that Haverford and Ben had the night before, after the whole, ex-wife on the phone thing. It's, you shouldn't apologize for saving the free world kind of deal.
Yeah. Ben is more like a shark than a wolf.
Dark shark?
Dark great white shark?
Oh,
I don't know.
Now, a wolf is fitting though, because wolves, they can be tamed, but they have such an innately untamable nature that it feels almost impossible. And they do go for the jugular.
And wolves, go in packs, and that's what he's currently in right now. But that's what he was a part of. But yeah, and I don't know. Interesting. What's up, Salty Butterbags? How you doing, man? He's either dead or he's watching Tron Ares. God, yeah. Of course, we've got the suspect that he spots, and again, like he could have made a decision here to
walk away.
Spotted him. He's on the train. Tal, like it's easy as Tal. Here's the description. Track him on CCTV, right? Like we can cut him off. We'll meet him, and we'll just follow him until he gets off, and we'll know. And we'll just ambush him there. We'll take him in for questioning or whatever, right? Like or we'll kill him, right? I would assume that had they captured him alive, I'm sure Haverford would have probably, taken him in and then questioned him and then killed him, perhaps. But same thing. I think the fact that we don't know who he's with that pays off, later on in a future episode too, right? So very interesting. But this whole part here, in the end, I love this ending. Because of what it means for Ben here. I think the entire time, up through these 3 episodes, Ben is, again, the title of the episode, I think it has some significance for both, or I'll say all 3 of our points here, and what is being left behind and what it's meaning now moving forward. But I feel like the fact that he knows what has to be done, he makes that fuck the brakes decision. Like, he's just, no pun intended, but he's on a train that's not stopping now.
Yeah.
And he's just like full throttle.
Switches on, can't turn it off.
Yep. Like, and then just as Rafe gets there, the door closes and he doesn't even turn around. Like,
listen, we all know that Rafe could have just pulled those doors open with us,
I was like, Rafe could have jumped on top of the back of the train, ran behind it, jumped on back, pulled it apart. Could you imagine that? But he's still just a second late, like it would have been like more of a Superman-y type thing for Rafe. Like he's like Ben still kills the guy, but Rafe goes to like this, I don't know, partially incredible feat of running after this train, jumping on the back of it, holding on, pulling himself, opening the door forcefully, and then everyone's just sort of like, oh my God, who is this tall, handsome son of a bitch walking by us, And then
on
it's
the
like
South African Tarzan.
Yeah, the Rhodesian ramrod has arrived, Ben. I'm closing in your position. And Man's just like not saying anything, but like that was kind of gay, but it's okay, Rich. But like, yeah, no, this is in Bad Boys too, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's some Michael Bay action hero type crap. But I mean, not that it's bad by any means, but obviously, like, it almost would have oddly fit his character, but at the same time, it doesn't fit his character. Thanks, man. I've been working on my Rhodesian the more I hear Rafe. It's a weird accent though to get down. But yeah, the fact that Ben doesn't turn around here, he's so honed in on his target because he doesn't want to lose eyes on him. Like I have to maintain line of sight and see what his move is going to be. And again, you can just tell once he is spotted. Like you can I try to grab the frame of it, but you can actually see the blood on the wrist of this killer here. When he's taking out this like
the
kunai, like this,
I think it's a kunai,
the kunai, yeah. Like this dude's out here trying to be like Naruto or whatever.
Rasengan!
Yeah, Rasengan! Ben's gonna come up like Chidori ga! Which is kind of funny, the fact that this guy's bringing a knife to a gunfight. It's like this guy's thinking I'm gonna close the gap with the knife, and Ben's like nops, like bah, 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 like Dunzo. Which it reminded me a little bit of like the Indiana Jones Raiders scene. Like, let me flash this fancy scimitar. If I get close to you, I'm gonna chop you up. And it's like, okay, buddy, dead. But yeah, I think this is like the look that Ben has in his eyes here. Is I think when his moral ground is shifting a bit, like he's ready to kill this guy in front of like all these civilians. And sure, as he asks Tal to, kill all the CCTVs, so there's no evidence, right? There's nothing that's gonna like fit his description that they can tell right off the bat or get like a facial recognition or whatever. But like he definitely, I think, in his own mind this is like the scene that propels him closer to who Haverford is, or thinking this is what Haverford wants or expects out of me. And he likes it. I mean, like, think about what just happened. He got divorced, the night before, the new partner-ish killed, just thinking about other things, whether it's
wife number 3 gone, potential for a family gone.
Yeah,
no Steele's brothers left, basically, right? It's just everything's just kind of in disarray. I just kind of saw this more as like Ben is just doing what Ben does best, and that's going into just kill mode. And the good thing, I guess, about his kill mode is that regardless of whether that switches on or off, he still knows what is good and what is bad, like technically speaking. So I think he knows that even though like he can't really control himself here and he just goes into full mode, but he knows that whatever he does, there is an overwhelming positive to it, and that's Ish's killer is getting justice.
Yeah, totally agree. What's up, Daxie? How you doing? Have a great night. Have you been lurking this entire time? And yes, you do need to watch this show, dude. Absolutely worth it from start to finish. It's only 7 episodes, but I guarantee you, man, you'll fly through it. Because it is definitely hard to just watch them one by one. You so yeah,
7 very tight, good episodes.
Yeah. Just popped in. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, and when he sees the girl here, little girl who's like coloring, and
I thought it was so funny that they did this girl's hair. Like, it was just, I noticed it the first time I watched, I noticed it again, just like, of all the things to do with this kid, why would you style her hair? Like,
yeah, I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I mean, it's not your typical, like,
you don't normally see a girl of that age just walking around with styled hair. It threw me off a little bit.
What is like a balayage or something like that she's got going on? Like,
well, I mean, first of all, kudos for knowing what a balayage is, but no, it's just she's got like some beach waves going. That's all. And
right?
It was strange.
But yeah, he genuinely smiles because she waves at him. She smiles at him as well, and this moment here that seems so it might seem out of place, but this is such a good moment for him to have.
Again, it's that payoff from that brief conversation that he had with
Yep.
his wife, right? It's just like 8 months ago, we were talking about kids, and here he is 8 months later looking at a kid. It's almost a brief, like, what could have been. I could just be a father on a train with his daughter, but I'm really just a killer on a train.
Traveling the world, going on vacations, whatever, right?
Mhm.
Sightseeing, like just being a dad, you know? I
Mhm.
mean, I think like in the first episode when he's hearing Reece talk about his daughter and wife. It's like, oh yeah, Lucy, she caught her big fish today, and and he's like, oh, what's his wife's name? Amy, was it?
Amy, yeah.
Amy. I was like, oh, Amy was with them too. So like, his wife is hanging around, the Reese's, and so it's like his wife is around another married woman who is also a frogman. But they have a family, right? They've been married. They have a daughter. She's fishing, right? And I know that I felt like that's what Ben wants to have at one point too, because it's like, well, one of his best friends has that. So, and had things not gone south in the first episode, yeah, maybe he would have gotten closer to that. But yeah, like it's definitely one of those things where I definitely empathize with Ben here. Thinking like, I think he deserves to have a family, but at the same time, he's just so good at what he does.
Right.
And the way he has this smile, and then he goes straight to this look, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Like it's that switch just got flipped on. It's like, yep, here we go. It's go time. Oh, train stopping. That's cool. Like everyone's screaming, getting the hell out of the way. But
this was so quick, but so effective. Again,
Yes.
well placed and paid off action.
Yep. Again, yeah. And that's again like this. I do believe like this show is definitely more of a thriller than action, but the action is very well timed, precisely strategized in the points where it makes sense and it fits well in the scope of the episode. And the thrill, the build up is I think always maintains a steady pace. Even we're having a part where why is he smiling at the girl? Like, no, there's a reason behind that, because he goes straight into kill mode. And then, takes a picture and says, we got what we needed. I'll make my escape. We're good. No one's fits my description. Sends it over to Tal for her to do some background checks on and facial recognition. But yeah, I kind of thought about how Ben was feeling in this moment after he just took that guy out in the train, which I don't think he regret's not the right word. Cared that he had to do it, because again, he got that order from Haverford. You take that guy out for killing Ish, which may or may not have been my son or a family member, but
right.
Payback is a son of a bitch, and that guy got what was his. But also, if Ben's like, if this is the type of work that I'm gonna be doing, where it's like, okay, people can't detect me, I can go in and out, even in a public place, take someone out that's a bad guy, and escape kind of scotch free. I mean, like,
I was thinking more like, because the first episode, and I guess part of episode 2, right? It's really laying down that despite these men kind of being trained to kind of instill values and a moral compass into other leaders and to help incite change, when it comes to matter, like things that actually matter, like I forget the guy that they killed in the first episode, but when it comes to things like that, their hands are very much tied, so they are so limited on how much change they can actually influence without a bunch of bureaucrats watching their every move and controlling their every move. And finally, he can be on a side where he is still able to finish the fight he started in the SEALs A, but also operate just purely using his skill and without having to always check someone else's box or operate under someone else's guidance. So it almost feels like Ben has a little feels probably a bit of vindication because he will not have to suffer consequences now for bringing Ish's killer to justice, just like he had to for the guy that he killed in the first episode for raping his friend's daughter. It's yeah. So I and it's that, and I imagine that this is fine, because Haverford says when he threw the phone after that conversation, like, did that feel good? And Ben was like, no. And I imagine now it's like, did this feel good? It's like, yeah, that felt pretty fucking good.
Yeah, this definitely feels a lot better than smashing a phone after you got long distance divorced.
Right.
But yeah, I think this really cements Ben. I mean, it might be wet cement, but nonetheless, it's been poured.
Transition period, right? This is where Ben where past becomes prologue is what you said.
Past is the prologue. Yeah,
there you go. There's the prologue, because this is the turning point for everything else. I really hope this gets a second season. There's still so much more to do with Ben's story.
There is. I would be surprised if we didn't. I mean, I think the ending of it is, is fitting, based on like who he gets approached by and the topic that gets mentioned, right? So, and again, we're still at, we still have years between this and the Terminalist season 1.
There's still 5 years unaccounted for. Yeah.
Yeah. And even if they fast forward like a year later, right? Okay, cool. Well, years passed since Dark Wolf season 1. Things have maybe calmed down, right? We'll see how they play out, but I hope we do too, because obviously seeing this team do what they've been doing through 2 seasons so far has been great. And I think that's one of it. Like, if there's any sort of show or franchise that I'm just excited to see more of, it's this universe right here. Agreed. And I feel like we don't have a lot of that right now in whether it's movies or shows. Like, there's nothing that to me is like super exciting. Like, oh my God, I can't wait till this season comes out. Or like, I mean, the fact that I'm excited about a book, I haven't been excited about a book in a long ass time either. And I used to read all the bloody time. I mean, it's my fucking English. I have an English degree, for Christ's sake. Like, I used to read all the damn time. But, getting more into watching movies and shows and being analytical that way, and just seeing, how bad some of these shows are and how bad some of these movies have been. It's like we were talking last night. After we were discussing Terminator, and it's like, yeah, what movies came out this year? And I'm like, I really can't think of like maybe two or three that I can like legitimately remember and say, oh, F1 was good. I enjoyed Warfare, and maybe Sinners to a certain extent, but like everything else was just
forgettable.
Or just very forgettable. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I saw that movie. Oh, I forgot I saw that movie too, because it was just like, well, yeah, this was a fun part. Or like so-and-so, like, like I mentioned a good one. I was like, yeah, John Bernthal being in The Accountant too was fun. But that was it. It was just fun. It's because I like John Bernthal. But aside from that, it was, I mean, not much of a different movie, really. Like, The Accountant 2 didn't need to be made, sort of thing, right? But it was, because Hollywood loves making sequels that don't really belong. And I'm going to say they like making prequels. And yes, this is a prequel show, but notice the difference in what this show does.
In everything. Like, this is a prequel done right. And it's, it's strange, because even though this is technically a prequel series, I don't see it as a prequel series, because again, Ben is not the same character we really get in the book. This is so completely original in every single way. And the fact that they were able to take that one singular change and spin it off into such a strong side story is really impressive. So I feel this feels just more like a spin-off instead of a prequel. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, I can get behind that, and agreeing to it, the concept of it being a spin-off, right? Because I know that it says, the terminal list, right? But to that extent, like that doesn't mean it can't be a spinoff within the Terminal List universe, right? So,
and it is a prequel because it does take place before everything, and but I just I feel it is more accurately a spinoff than a prequel. It's funny that Shoe on Head makes a single video on this, and I brought this milking farm shit up well over a month ago on my own channel, and nobody cared. Nobody was making. I read the first chapter on stream, and no one was. But when Shoe does it, oh, we all lose our minds.
Yeah.
Come on, people, just do your own research into degeneracy, okay?
I actually don't know much about it, to be honest with you. I'm a little
It's supposed to be a monster romance story where this girl who can't find a job and is in debt decides to take a job at this farm, but it's a farm owned by a pharmaceutical company, and the miracle in their new drug is Minotaur semen. So she is hired to jerk off Minotaurs.
I mean, it sounds like something Leon would cover.
It is, but the chat requested it that I read it on Sundays, so I read the first chapter, and I gotta say that's probably the most.
Oh, that's okay. YouTube. I do remember him reading an excerpt from that. Okay, a book about it. That makes sense now. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. It's all clicking now.
Mm-hmm.
Larry, yeah, good to see another English degree lad out there. There's still time. You can review movies and TV shows. Start a YouTube channel. Look at the writing in this perspective, and if you want to apply a literary theory to said writing from these asshats in Hollywood, you can absolutely do that. So that's kind of what I did. hence the word "the plot strikes back." I'm like, the plot of the stories are quite awful in most cases, especially nowadays. But I agree, Zach. There's so much more room to tell a story here, and
and you could go so many different directions just with this universe as well. Like, yes, it's all kind of a military basis, but thrillers offer so much potential if you're just willing to put in the work to make it work. You know what I mean? It's not a genre that you can be lazy with, but if you put in the effort, can offer so much.
Yeah. On it. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, and I'd say because of the ratings that this show has been getting and the replayability, the fact that it's still on their top 10 most watched shows, right? I don't know if the Nielsen ratings are finally out yet or not.
Let's see.
I meant to check, but so I'm like they've got to be by now, right? At least September maybe.
Okay, so top 10 in streaming overall between September 15th to 21st. It was not up there.
On Nielsen?
Yeah, Terminal Dark Wolf was not in the top 10.
Interesting. Was Alien Earth there?
No, Alien Earth was not in the top 10. God. I don't even know what most of these shows are. So we had Beauty in Black, Black Rabbit, Wednesday, I'm aware of, K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Is this... How do you just see it by shows? Some of these are movies.
Oh, from the Nielsen ratings?
Right.
That's a good question. Let's see if we can do it live. Let's reject all these cookies. Let's see here. Yeah, streaming overall. Yeah, I think I see what you're looking at. Hang on, let me do this.
Why are you so happy? Why are you so happy, baby?
All right, chat, we're doing it live.
Do it live. Do it live. It just says overall there's not a breakdown for just show.
And it's saying original.
Samba was the one that had Terminal List in its
Did Gen
top
V
10.
come? like I don't know about Black. I don't know what Black Rabbit or Beauty and Black is. But, I mean, Wednesday, yeah, that makes sense.
That's very popular, yeah.
Yeah. Linear TV top 10. Oh, it's all like football, sports, advertising, top video games. Oh, look at Battlefield 6. Boom.
I love that everyone wants to shit on Ghost of Yotai, but look, it's still the 4th best-selling game on console and PC as of this fucking week.
Yeah.
Guys, it's a success. You can't stop it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I'm not even going to bother just like trying to shit on it. I mean, how is
Same with Borderlands 4 is still up there too.
Yeah. Fortnite, Hades 2.
I'm actually surprised Pokemon Legends ZA is so low on that list.
Yeah, wasn't there some controversial things about it? I don't remember.
I don't know about the controversy, but like I've just been talking to some people that are playing it and it's just not a good game. But just usually Pokemon games are very successful. That's all. So I'm surprised that it's that low.
Yeah, I really haven't as bright as fuck on my screen. Holy crap. Yeah, I don't know exactly if I really haven't seen a lot of the Nielsen sites data before. I know it's always kind of referred to, but like how can you go back and like see previous weeks too? Because Dark Wolf came out at the end of August, right? So
I don't think Nielsen had it on their top 10 because they don't do just a TV show one. It's all streaming or movies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
But Samba had them, so we can just go with Samba TVs.
Yeah, I guess that's. Yeah, that sucks. What is it? It's you said Samba?
Yeah.
Samba TV. Let's see here. Where's there? I should just type in Samba TV ratings, maybe.
Yeah, I don't like how their website is laid out.
Yeah. Samba TV reports. Let's see here. These are all weird, dude. What the hell? Audiences, maybe. I've never looked at this before.
Don't worry, just Samba TV had it accurately. Like Alien Earth was up there for 2 or 3 weeks because, again, Alien IP, of course, is going to blow up a terminal list.
Yeah.
Dark Wolf, I remember very, very vividly. It was on there every single week that this show was premiering.
Either way, I mean, I do see a lot of people still talking about Dark Wolf, and more people are obviously like, I like the fact that some people haven't seen it yet. I mean, because I think, again, that's one of the reasons why I like talking about it here and like spreading the good word, you know, like, hey, this is a great show, especially in a year or recent years where we haven't had a lot of good shows. You know, we're getting garbage like Alien Earth and, you know, the Acolyte, or we're getting Iron Heart, right? I mean, like all these boring ass shows, or you know, even shows that are popular, right? Like The Boys season 4, like, you know, just, you know, there's a lot of shows out there that we're not looking forward to still. That's just like, you know, oh cool, we're getting True Detective season 5 because you know, that's going to be a great watch. No, it's going to be a horrible time. But at least, like I said earlier, this is something that I'm genuinely looking forward to, like whenever there's something announced by it.
Right.
Like, you know,
right.
I mean, the fact that it's just like even things to get excited about, like, oh, they just finished wrapping up, you know, filming with season 2 of Terminal List. Like, I know, like the moment they throw that teaser trailer out there, it's gonna be pretty dope. I mean,
I think the last official report was that we would get it early 2026. So I think we might get a trailer around Christmas.
damn, yeah.
Like it just seems like the timing would be perfect if they did that too, because like Dark Wolf, it's just ended. It's still doing very well relatively on Amazon, right? It's still promoted heavily there. The social media accounts for Terminal List are still promoting the shit out of this show too. Jack Carr just had a book release and he's on a massive book tour. So it'd be perfect to just keep building off of that momentum and bam, here's a Terminal List season 2 trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, I just did a quick search to see if there's anything about an updated release. I don't know what this is saying. Late 2026. I hope not.
I think it'll be early 2026.
Yeah. I could suspect maybe March.
Yeah, maybe end of the fiscal year, plop it on there to boost everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I was also thinking they could capitalize too, because Fallout season 2 comes out in December.
Yes.
So you can capitalize in keeping subscribers and viewership up as well with a Terminal List season 2, and that would still boost the end of your Q4.
Yep. Yeah. I doubt they would want to compete with one of their own, you know, one of their shows that has done well for them. Yeah, with
Right,
Fallout
very
season
well.
2. You know,
I bought a Fallout shirt at Halloween Horror Nights.
Did you really?
It was that red and brown tie-dye one. I don't know if you went into any of the.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's that red and brown, like half tie-dye one, and then it's just got all the characters on the front, and it just says Fallout across the chest. It was a nice shirt, so I got it.
Nice. Yeah, I was debating on because when I went Sunday night, it was actually like because it had rained.
Oh,
and it was cool. It was cool out though. Like it was in like the mid 60s, I want to say. At one point, and I was just wearing a t-shirt and shorts, but yeah, like I was debating on buying a long sleeve shirt, and I was like, do I want to buy a Fallout shirt or a Jaws 50th anniversary shirt? Which I was going to go back and get, and I never did. But it's fine because I'm going to go back.
there you go. There's still time.
Yeah.
Still time.
Yeah. I think we're going to end up going again on the 2nd, which is the last day of Halloween Horror Nights, but it's also daylight savings, so it's going to get darker earlier, which means it'll be cooler earlier.
Gotcha. All right.
Hopefully, actually be actual cooler the
Mhm.
weather, but yeah. Reacher, I have no idea, honestly. Because I guess that would be another show, right, with Amazon that they probably wouldn't want any overlap, but maybe like
That'd be spring,
consecutive.
wouldn't it? Didn't they come out every spring with each season? Am I crazy? Hold on, let's see.
I want to say Reacher season 3 was fall last year, or was it August?
Oh wow, no, I'm all the way fucked up. So season 1 was February. Season 2 was December through January, and season 3 was February into March.
Okay. Yeah, so Reacher 4 comes out summer. Okay. All right.
So principal photography for the 4th season began on June 16th, 2025.
Oh, wow.
And Joe Biden visited the set.
What do you do? Sleep on it?
Bruh, I don't know. Was it really Joe Biden? Like,
yeah, it could have been a fake. Could have been the stand-in guy.
Right. One of the many clones they got in storage.
Oh, yeah. Actually, now that you mentioned it, I thought I remembered Alan Ritchson mentioning something on his social media about filming back to back, which that's pretty interesting if they're doing that back to back. I mean,
so does that mean it'll end after season 5?
maybe. I mean,
guys, leave each other alone. Stop that. Stop that.
Yeah, Joe Biden's the bad guy for season 4. That'd be amazing.
Maybe he was a stand-in for a corpse.
Yeah, we need a weekend at Bernie's fill-in. That's lifelike. Let's get Joe Biden.
Reacher is just one of those shows I could not get into. I watched the first season because everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's so amazing!" And I was like, "This shit is corny as fuck, and the performances aren't even that great. What are you guys all smoking?" And someone told me that's kind of like the same vibe that the books have, and I was just like, "Oh,
Night, Roman.
It's just not meant for me." Cheers, Roman.
Oh, the zombie apocalypse. He says he's into Reacher until Amazon says no. I mean, like I remember when the first season came out, and again, like I've never read any of the books. I just remember people saying that these scenes are literally by the book. And I'm like, I get it. You love to see it, but oh god, what is her name? The one black chick that makes an appearance in season 2.
You're asking the wrong person.
I know. I'm God. I reviewed season 3. I made season 3 reviews on every episode of my channel. I can't even remember her damn name. But anyway, she kind of becomes a little bit of a like girl boss. Like season 2 had this like, I get it was supposed to be more Neely. Yes. Yeah, that's her name, Neely. Yeah, like I would say like she was meant to be like the female version of Reacher because that could never happen, but she just kind of just seems untouchable to a certain extent. I'm like she won't be the character to die, right? She's not gonna.
Wouldn't a female version of Reacher just be Reach Around?
I suppose. Exactly. I'll never look at a pepper the same again. Yeah.
You know what? That means I've done my job. Okay. I have done my, I can bring back the sandwich for a little while. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like it does have good moments. And I mean, the parts I enjoyed about season 3 were obviously more of the masculine moments of the fact that you had the Dutch giant in there, and the fact that he and Rich and Reacher fight, which I enjoyed all that, taking place, and obviously it was just a build up, like it's going to happen, but I mean, Anthony Michael Hall was in it as well, which
oh shit,
yeah, and I kind of liked his character in it. His son that's in the show. I mean, obviously he's like a wimp, and Reacher has to be like the protector. Like there are some good parts to it. But it does have some problems, and yeah, I remember Zach and I talked about it before. Where season 3 is much better than 2. 2 is I would argue 2 could be completely skipped. Like you won't really miss out on much. Yeah, like Neely. Spoiler. Like the only thing that's relevant about season 2 is because of what happens. Neely kind of moves up into position, so she gets an office in Chicago, and that's it. Like everything else that happens in season 2 is irrelevant to season 3 because every season's like different, right? Reacher moves on to a different place, stumbles upon a new scenario, a new situation, a new instance of like there's trouble, and he kind of has to be the hero that solves the problem, or maybe it's a part of his past. So that's what season 3 is about. Is someone from his past that appears again. I would say the female in which I'd be curious to see what you have to say, Vex, about the female in season 3.
I will never watch more.
I know you won't.
Yeah,
but she's this she's from Boston, And so she has that Boston accent. They're in Maine, I believe, if I remember correctly, but she has this Boston accent. And you can tell like there's like this sexual tension there. And eventually it does happen. But she's just like kind of crazy. And then at the end, you think that there might be something there, but knowing how Reacher is and how every season kind of just comes to a standstill and then, you know, moves onward. She's the one that basically like ditches him, and he's like, wow, so this is what it's like when I do it to women. And I'm like, my dude, you could have gotten the last line, but you didn't. And yeah, like she was annoying as all hell. Plus, if you can't stand Boston women accents, then you definitely won't like her. But that's fair. That's fair. Yep. Yeah, it's like what's his face? James Gunn's Superman and the Justice Gang. You've got Reacher and his little gang. Yeah. Again, like I don't know what was in the book, but season 1 is probably still the best overall. Yeah. Probably. You're probably right, Waylon.
I'd have to agree with that. Even for men, it is not a sexy accent.
Yeah, you okay over there?
No. I automatically just think of fat, greasy guys, and yeah, no.
Oh man, it just reminds me of this SNL Dunkin' Donuts skit, which is fucking hilarious. I'll have to throw it in the Discord because I'll go back and watch it from time to time.
I've never heard of this. Okay, yeah, please share it in the Discord. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, I'll bring it up. I was like, I would bring it up on stream, but I might get. I think it's because it's technically SNL.
You'll get hit. Yeah, you'll get hit.
Yeah. So, but that'll do it for episode 3, breaking down episode 3 and talking about it with my lovely co-host here with the Vex and Gooch. I know Gooch did what, 8 out of 10 was his rating?
Yes.
Okay, what do you give it?
You know, I think this is probably a 9.5 out of 10. Ben isn't really front and center for the episode. This is really Mo's episode, but I think the very subtle character work through the body language, through the expressions, through just the very light and it seems almost inconsequential dialogue, it does a lot of heavy lifting if you're actually paying attention. And it stood out a lot more on rewatch. I like the little details. I feel rewatching this episode this week, it's just like the payoff for Landry even makes sense, even though at first it did seem a little bit out of place in the series.
Nice.
Yeah, it's all around just a very good episode. I like what we got with Ben. I love what they did with Mo. I think it's a perfect introduction for the character, given who the character is. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with like a 9.5 out of 10. This is a pretty amazing episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Leia, thanks so much, dude. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope to see you here again, man. Also, epic beard from what I can tell, dude. It's awesome. I agree. 3 is the best episode so far, and the fact that it's been ramping up. And I remember in Discord when, especially the 3 of us were talking about it before a lot of other people were, and it was just like, all right, episode 1 was good. And like, holy shit, 2 is good. Like, oh my god, but 3, like,
it just gets better and better and better, and it's so strange because that's how TV was for like both of us.
The longest time, yeah.
And it's only in recent years, but there are whole audiences that don't even understand this is what good TV used to be. It used to build episode after episode, and it was very rare that you got filler. And even when you did get filler, it still contributed something to just like the overall characters or the lore or the universe building kind of deal, right? So
yeah, absolutely. And I'm, I thought Gooch might give it a higher rating, to be honest with you, but I'm like in the like 9.3, 9.5 like area. I mean, there's just a lot of great things about it from start to finish, and I really don't have anything negative to say about it. Unless I'm like super being nitpicky, but not trying to be at that point. because there's so many great things about this episode, especially centered around Ben and Landry and Mo especially.
Yeah.
But just even the small time that we see a new character come in to beginning of the episode, doesn't even make it to the end. Or well, I guess he does make it to the end, but he dies at the end. Doesn't make it to the next episode. Yeah, his body does. Yeah. But he doesn't get, he only is in here for this one episode. So it's, and the effect that it has on Haverford, it was just a bit of a surprise. Like, oh, this guy actually has some emotion here. That's interesting. Okay, maybe there's a lot more to Haverford than we know.
Just what it cements in Ben too. This really is the turning point finally, right? Again,
yep.
Mirroring that same issue in episode 1 of the series. So
yep. Vex, what you got going on the rest of this week?
I'm gonna be on this little channel, on this little stream called Open Bar on Thursday.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's happening. And I'm working on I actually finally found my favorite movie of 2025. 2025 is so fucking disappointing. But I watched The Ugly Stepsister, which is basically like a budget version of The Substance meets the crippling, like, personal introspection of Black Swan meets Grimm's fairy tale Cinderella, but from the perspective of one of the stepsisters. It was fucking awesome. I watched it twice this week already, which I think is a testament right there. It's body horror, so like if body horror is not your thing and you also don't like foreign films, it is a Norwegian film, so it's subtitle.
Gotcha.
If you don't like either of those two things, like, don't watch it. But it's definitely a movie geared towards women, just like The Substance was more geared towards women.
Okay.
Kind of similar subject matter, but like it is a great movie. It is a really great movie, and I love what it does to the Cinderella story. So yeah, I watched that and I was like, man, I gotta write a script now. So that's in the works. Other than that, I'll be back here next Tuesday. Beast Up on Monday. We're doing Jason X. We're doing a movie review. I've never watched Jason X, so this will be a first watch for me.
Okay. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I'm curious to see what you think about it.
You know what? I can, even if it's a shitty horror movie, like it's part of that IP where it's like I can still have fun with it, even if it's a shitty movie kind of deal, So,
did you go in the Jason Universe haunted house?
What year was that?
This year.
Why am I drawing a blank? Oh, Camp. Yes. Oh, they had the characters that were saying lines from the movies throughout it. Yeah, yep. I've never been a huge fan of Jason, so I was just kind of, oh, this is impressive, but I don't care about it.
Yeah. I really liked the house. That was super well done. I feel like it was one of the longer ones too. Like took you to get through. I feel like they probably realized like that Terrifier probably had a little bit of a larger like layout, I want to say, but I enjoyed the house more than the movies.
That's fair. That's
totally
fair. Yeah. I don't know. Jason's just the Friday the 13th thing. I never got the hype around. Like, I can understand Nightmare on Elm Street a lot more. Freddy Krueger's a way cooler like horror icon, but Jason X is just the poor kid that drowned. And for some reason, there's a lot of chicks that want to fuck him, and I'm like, what does that say about women that they want to fuck a dead 13-year-old?
Yeah, kind of gross.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's very gross. But yeah, no, I agree. Like, there's just something about I always found them to be laughable because it's like your typical slasher. Same thing with like Halloween.
Yeah.
But I think when you see a character like that in a haunted type of setting, again, like I was laughing half the time because I was like so impressed. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, seeing other people ahead of me, like getting jump scared, like, I'm laughing at them too. because I'm like, this is just fucking cool. Like, give me a machete and a mask. Like, I'll do this. Like, and jump out on people. But no, that was good. But yeah, the movies aren't that great. But
you know what, Waylon? I don't disagree with you there. But at least Ted Bundy was of age and alive.
yeah, that is a certified issue there with women that want to give a Ted Bundy. But that's awesome. You're gonna be on Open Bar. I'll definitely be tuning in. So I'll be on Gooch's stream here late night with the Gooch in like 25-ish minutes. Tomorrow night I'll be on Zax's stream for the 1984 versus 1986 battle. And no Kaiju number 8 review this Thursday on Gucci's stream, because he'll be going to see Chainsaw Man, the movie, for that anime. So I might actually do a gaming stream just to kind of fill up that time slot before his late night stream. I just got Ninja Gaiden 4. I haven't played it yet.
Nice. Really
looking forward to it because I love Ninja Gaiden, especially when it. I should say since the NES days, but when Ninja Gaiden came back out on the Xbox 360, I played the shit out of that game. Broke a controller over it when I was a bit more of a hothead.
Damn.
Oh yeah, there's this one boss. Her name's fucking Alma. She was a bitch. Especially on the highest difficulty, because myself and one of my best friends, he's already beaten it on normal, and he just goes through every difficulty. And that's something we always did as a sort of a competition, who could beat it on like Master Ninja difficulty. And she just had like ridiculous moves that were like, it was just, it's always an Alma. Yeah. And there's weird, because like in the first game, you fight her twice. She has like this like, souped up form as like the final boss. I always thought she was harder when you fight her like halfway through the game than when you fight her at the end of the game. But dude, Fear was I loved those games. Those were actually really cool. On the 360 as well. But so I might do that Thursday, maybe around like 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern. Start up the game, maybe make a fool of myself, maybe rage a little bit. We'll see.
Nice.
We'll see what the Tude level's at. But congrats for getting on Open Bar. It was a fun time. Do you know who you're going to be on with?
No, I've not. Honestly, this has been a thing that we've been trying to work out for like 8 weeks at this point.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, because I was in Florida for a while, and then I was busy with stuff, and
he was out. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just finally everything lined up. But no, I don't know any of the details, but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Yep. Yeah. You'll do fine.
I was just told not to have these profile pictures up, so I will have a normal profile picture.
Yeah. I mean, I went on with my Gaindolf tank top shirt. I had to be myself.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, myself is showing sexually explicit food, but I can't do that apparently. So
yeah, you can't be your true self.
You
just have to show part of yourself, but not in the nude sense. Because who knows, Rossi might donate all of his life savings at that point.
Rossi will love BSOP on Monday then, because we all decided to dress up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because it's Halloween, right? So we're doing Jason X instead of news. It'll be fun to dress up for Halloween as well. So
I'm debating on doing something for Monday since it's the week of Halloween, because we're doing Ghostbusters.
Dude,
Mondays.
You should totally dress up then. Oh, come on. That's so fitting.
I got to figure out what to dress up as.
I think I'm just gonna do Art the Clown, some Art the Clown makeup, because I have a gray wig I can just use instead of doing the clown cover, and I don't have to wear it. I can just put a tank top on. There you go, easy peasy.
Whoever gives me the biggest donation, I'll dress up at whatever it is. How about that?
There you
go. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll pull the Discord and see what I should dress up as, because I'll have time to go do something. like this weekend to get a costume or whatever. So
There you
go. Yeah, that'll do it. I want to thank Gooch for tuning in. I know he dipped a little bit early prior to his stream. I want to thank you, Vex, for being here and
My pleasure.
Have a nice little one-on-one combo
Mhm.
for the show. So this is good. I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed everyone who decided to take their time on a Tuesday evening to talk about Dark Wolf, which is a phenomenal show, as we've been saying for 3 weeks now, and for the past 2.5 hours. But everyone that's subbed, liked, watched, all that kind of stuff, appreciate you guys, and all the new people that have come here. Larry, good to see you, my friend. We'll see you guys back here for Dark Wolf episode 4, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then again on Monday, we're talking about Ghostbusters for Masculine Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. And I don't have a fancy outro, so we're just going to do it raw. And
Fucking Wayland. Sorry.
And the stream. I should be Kirk Lazarus. Oh my God.
You should do that, Nick.
I should be Kirk Lazarus.
Yeah. All you just gotta do is buy like that like one use like dye that just washes out after one use, right? And then just paint your face brown.
Oh
Like you've already got the facial hair for it too.
The entire time I'm gonna talk like this though.
Right.
You see here in this Ghostbusters movie. You got Egon. He's a real nerd.
That's the cheapest costume you could ever get.
God. He didn't do that one year. Nice. Leon should be the rapper.
Oh, was it? I just remember his drink was called Booty Sweat. That's all.
Yeah, and bust a nut bar.
Oh, good Lord!
Just so I can be like, I could see the line to him when he says, "I'm sure when you're talking to Lance is a dude's name." He goes, "No, I said Nance. It's not that. It sounded like you said Lance." Al Pacino. Yeah, there we go.
Oh
yeah.
Gosh.
It's like when you, whatever the lyrics were, like, were you talking about dragging your nuts across his face?
Her face.
her face, dog. Her face. I'm Al Pacino, man. I love the pussy.
Oh.
Okay.
Crazy.
God. Oh yeah. We'll have to cover that at one point, but yeah, man, it's Hollywood. Everyone's gay once in a while. That movie has great lines.
Honestly, it's crazy how much media predicted rappers becoming gay. It's really crazy because Boondocks did it too.
They did. They really did. So, all right. We'll see everyone later. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.